Yo, yo, yo. It's Thursday night. We're back. I'm your boy High Five Vega, joined as always by Dean, the guy who just got back from SEMA. What's up, Dean?
Hey, how are you?
Doing good, man. Doing good. Probably better than you. I'm sure you had a busy week.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. What is? It's Thursday. Yeah, it never stops. It's not like it stops or slows down or gets easier. It's just another. Yeah. So
Just another day.
yeah, um, yeah, and then I leave again next Thursday. So
Next, what's coming up next? Is that
um,
that's not
so
the
I have
cruise, is it?
I have a wedding and a cruise.
Oh, okay. So that is next Thursday then.
Yeah, thank
Okay.
God.
There you go.
I mean, it's hard to believe that like Thanksgiving is just like right around the corner.
Dude, it is so close. Yeah.
Yeah, this year is like coming to an end fast.
It's every year. Every year you get older, they come faster.
Yeah, I try not to think about it.
Yeah.
Oh well.
All right. Yeah. So listen, you got block off panels I seen in the Mustang. Pretty
Oh
cool.
God. Yeah.
That really did. I didn't understand the level of nightmare that was until you showed it on video. Because you can talk about it all day, but until you
Yeah.
see it, it's like, oh God.
Yeah. I mean, it was frustrating, but
Yeah.
a lot of this stuff is so. But hey, whatever. I mean,
Yeah, it is what it is.
yeah.
So what's the next video to come out on the Mustang, or is it complete now, just not content complete?
It's complete enough. So like the
Yeah.
there's, it's. I mean, we tried to film as much as we could, walking everybody through it. It was hard to do because it was over like the course of 2 weeks.
Yeah.
So it's good. It's going to be interesting. I was looking at it last, obviously putting it together, and I was like, this is going to be an interesting video. we'll just kind of see how it goes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but no, yeah, it's fun. I need to tune it still. So like right now it's not tuned and the subs still aren't in it.
Yeah.
But it's at least it's back together and drivable, and if I could find 2 hours I would probably tune it up and get it done. But since we've gotten back, that just hasn't happened.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
hey, I haven't even got speaker wires running the Trooper. So
yeah, I mean, I was just trying to prepare for the news tonight and I was falling asleep. I was like, oh my God. Like,
so what day did you guys get back then?
well, okay, so that was interesting because as you know, because your wife is part of it, the government shut down.
Oh, the flights.
And so
Yeah.
on Thursday, everyone is panicking. So everyone that worked for Rockford's flight got canceled.
Oh no.
All of them. They all Zach got out like the day before, so he got. But other than him, I don't think anybody got out on a plane.
Yeah.
So they had like a staggered release home, and so everyone was just kind of like carpooling back to Phoenix, which was fine. I mean, it wasn't that long of a drive from what they're saying. So everyone, groups just rented a car, drove back home. So it was just kind of weird to see that play out. And of course,
which was not an option for you, for you and Fernando.
So a gentleman by the name of Bjorn, he's one of like two people that don't live in Tempe. They work for Rockford. He actually lives on the west coast of Florida. He was their Marine guy forever and ever and ever. And so he left. I think he left like Thursday night, and he got out, and we're like, okay, so we checked into our flight because our flight didn't, our check-in was like 5:00 or something like that. So, all day Thursday it was just like everyone's just like, oh, and I'm like, okay, so what do we do if we do get stuck here? So you're thinking that while also like, hi, welcome to Rockford. Let's look at some shit. And I'm in my head, I'm going, this is just the most fucked up world we live in right now. Like, what is wrong with this shit? I mean, it's just so stupid. Oh, to professionally tune your Mustang? Yeah, that's not going to happen. Why would I professionally do it for a living? Why would I want one of them to do it?
Yeah, you got to do it.
Let alone pay somebody. Like, are you kidding me? That's the whole reason why I do this for a living is because I don't want to pay anybody. You know, I mean,
Yeah.
it's a great idea, but no. Now, if they want to volunteer to do it, yeah, knock yourself out. But
Yeah.
either way, so Thursday the world is just falling apart. And so our flight kept getting delayed, and then that's the fun. Like Southwest with their text messaging system is like delayed, not delayed, on time, not on time, and it's just all day long. Every 5 minutes that the flight changes, and it's just like if it's gonna be 20 minutes, let me know.
Yeah.
If it's not, just like let it play out until like the very end.
I've never flown Southwest, but it just seems so chaotic. That's why I can't do it.
It is. It's a bit ridiculous.
Yeah. Yeah, that's why I can't. I need to know exactly where I'm sitting.
Yeah. So, yeah, there's that.
Yeah.
And just don't even get me started on that. So our flight ended up being like an hour and a half late. No, it was nonstop. So that was one thing. It's
That's
like
good.
I some places you don't want to have layovers if you can avoid it because like it never fail. I mean, Phoenix is a hard one. But luckily there's plenty of nonstop flights back and forth to Vegas. There's usually an early one and a late one. I always try to be on the early one, but obviously we had to stay there for Friday. And it was, yeah. So anyways, long story. We ended up getting home an hour and a half late. So we got in at like 1:30 in the morning.
Nice.
So, and so then you go home, I got to drop Fernando off at his house and go home and, so you bed by 3 and get up and go to work the next day for, whatever stupid shit that was.
Yeah.
Because Paul doesn't look at it like you're just getting back from a trip where you've been working your ass off. It's just like, oh, it's Saturday. You guys are going to be back.
Yeah.
And it's like, we're like, dragging ass because we're tired. And this was actually probably the calmest SEMA we've ever had.
Really?
Like, as far as like, we really didn't do anything to where we were out late. So, which was nice because I just wasn't in the mood for that, and neither was Fernando. So, I mean, like Thursday night, we always go out to eat and get pizza. And so we went and got pizza, and it was like 8 something, maybe close.
Yeah.
And we're like, all right, well, I'm going to go back to my room and pack. And he's like, yeah, me too. I was like, all right, well, see you tomorrow morning. And it's like, that was it. And, so
how many days were you out there then? You were just out there for 2 days, 2 nights?
No, we got out there on Monday. So we flew in Monday morning, met up with Mike Rios. Went to have there's a Mexican restaurant we go to when we're out there, so we went to our Mexican restaurant, had great lunch. Went over to my buddy Andrew Evans has a shop out there. I can't think of the name of his shop right now, but he does all kinds of stuff. Him and Mike always build his car, and he does off the wall stuff. Like he does all kinds of stuff. Like he builds all the displays for a lot of companies. He's just really good at building displays, and so anytime Audio Control needs something, he would build it for them. He's built stuff for Kenwood. He's built Pioneer shit before, and so he just does all kinds of stuff. But anyways, they're doing golf carts now. They're part, a golf cart company hired them to develop golf carts, and so they're working on golf carts. And I was like, okay. That's cool. So he does all kinds of weird stuff. Plus he's in Vegas, so he does all kinds of weird stuff for people in Vegas.
Yeah.
Like he's done stuff for the magician guy that's out there.
Chris Angel?
No, the other one that makes shit disappear. The older guy.
Oh man.
Yeah. Anyways, one of the
But yeah. There's been so many.
Yeah, he does all kinds of weird stuff because he's got a bitchin' set of tools. So he's really good with CAD. He was one of the early CAD guys.
Yeah.
So he can build anything. So he'll do all kinds of weird shit for people.
David
Anyways,
Copperfield.
yes, thank you. He did some
Coming
stuff
through clutch. Daniel.
Yeah.
Danielson.
Yep. So, and then he does work for hotel. Anyways, great guy. We hung out there. Had a great time, and then it was like got dropped off at the hotel, and we got it was kind of early, and we're like, what do we do? And so we ended up walking from the Virgin to the Strip because I was like, dude, the Strip's right down the street. Let's just
is the Virgin did they move the convention center, or is it still where it was?
The convention center hasn't moved. It's still where it's always been.
So the Virgin's close.
The Virgin's about 1.5 miles up the street from the convention center. It's on the same street,
but off the Strip though.
It's off the Strip,
right,
so it's like the convention center sits here, and it kind of goes. The Strip kind of if this is the convention, the Strip is like this, and then the Virgin is like over here and up. So it's
right.
And so what we would do is 2 mornings we walked to the convention center, and then 3 mornings we drove, I think, something like that. But then we would just walk home.
Yeah.
Because it was like a half-hour walk back.
Yeah.
And it was way faster to walk back than to wait for an Uber.
Because the Uber and taxi, it's crazy. Yeah. And then plus, if you want to take an Uber, you have to go to a special spot. So it's easier to take a taxi most of the time, but then it's crazy sometimes even getting a taxi. So
you can, like, when we went to go to the airport, there were no taxis.
Yeah.
I was like, where the hell are the taxis? So we had to get an Uber, and I was like, oh, this sucks. Because taxi guys in Vegas will get you there.
Yeah.
Uber guys in Vegas are like, would you like to go sightseeing? No, bitch, I want to get to the airport.
Yeah.
And the airport was crazy. Like, the airport leaving the day to like when we leave SEMA, the airport is nuts. Like, and this year was exceptionally nuts. Like we got there like 2 hours early.
Yeah.
And it was still like,
I've never been to Vegas and be like, oh, I've had a good experience at the airport.
No, fucking airport's shit.
And I couldn't even imagine at SEMA because I haven't been there on an event. I've just been there on like a regular summer heavy travel day. That's it.
Yeah. It's ass. I mean, it's like the worst Disney line ever.
Oh, dude, it's terrible.
Yeah. It's like, oh, wait, we gotta wait in line and talk to somebody that isn't pleasant.
It's kind of a gross airport too. I don't know how to explain it. It's gross.
It's a shithole.
Yeah.
It is like, and Fernando and I always talk about it. Like, we were like, okay, I don't understand. Like, you go to these hotels, these mega hotels worth probably hundreds of millions of dollars. Like, the Strip is $1 billion worth of shit.
Yeah.
Okay. And you're trying to tell me that those guys can't figure out that, like, we should probably make the airport just as appealing as the Strip.
Oh,
because I don't know.
Sucks.
Yeah, this is the first thing people are gonna see. Like, they get off the airport or they get off the airplane and like, oh, welcome to the shithole that is Vegas. This is what your stay is gonna be like. It's a shithole, as opposed to, I don't know. Let's make the airport extremely pleasant, clean. Right. Not look like a 1970s cafeteria with slot machines in it that kind of smells like piss.
Mm-hmm.
And is just the most rude place. Yeah, no, it's cool. Yeah. It's cool.
Well, last time we flew, I think we flew with Allegiant, so they're technically chartered flights. But the guy was like, "Yeah, I'm not paying for Uber or whatever." When the guy's on the plane, he's like, "I'm just gonna walk to my hotel." But like, where are you staying? He's like, "Oh, I'm just staying at the Stratosphere." But like, is this your first time to Vegas? Yeah.
Well, he was gonna walk to the Stratosphere
from the airport.
Oh.
I was like,
more power to him. I mean,
it seems like not bad of a walk, but
the Stratosphere is the last hotel on the Strip.
Yeah.
It's all the way down.
It's a long walk from there to Circus.
Oh,
and that's one of the closest hotels to it. Or, well, it used to be, not now. Now they have Resorts World or whatever it is.
Yeah, it's fucked up. Like, no. I mean, I did have a guy one morning that missed the bus, missed the Titan bus to the airport, and so he walked from the Paris to the airport. And I was like, how long did that take? He's like, I don't know, 35 minutes. I was like, okay, it's 5 a.m. That's what I want to be doing.
Better do it at 5 a.m. than any time in the afternoon because it's so damn hot there. It can get brutally hot there.
Yeah, luckily we're never there for that.
Yeah.
You know, but yeah, we walked. So like we walked from the Virgin, and then we went to because we wanted to go past the F1 because that's I guess this weekend or next weekend or something like that.
Oh wow.
And so we went and saw that, and then we kept going, and we ended up in like Planet Hollywood,
Yeah.
where they have like the Mile Mall, which never been there, didn't know it existed, kind of stumbled into it, went for a walk. I was like, this is actually a really cool mall. Bought a really expensive baseball hat for F1, like probably the most expensive hat I've ever bought.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm like, hey, fuck it, when in Vegas, you know.
Yeah.
And then we ended up leaving there and going to the Cosmo, and we found this place called Noodles and Tacos, or Tacos and Noodles.
Yeah.
I don't remember which one it was, but it was like perfect. And so like we had, I figured he'd get tacos because he's always eating tacos. You know, not to stereotype him, but the guy loves tacos, and that's all he ever talks about, eating his fucking tacos. So I was like, look, they have tacos. I wanted noodles. He ended up getting noodles. So we both went to this place called Taco Noodles and ate noodles. Fantastic noodles.
Yeah.
It was I was like, dude, this is like the first time we've gone out to Vegas and actually had decent food. And the price wasn't crazy.
That's good.
You know, it's still
it can get crazy.
Yeah, well, I mean, it was still $70. But I mean, yeah, it's $50 plus tip and all that shit. And but it was worth it. Meaning like it was like we left there going, oh god, I'm gonna die. Yeah. You know, whereas like the last time we were like, I got taquitos and a Sprite. You know, it's like the fuck.
Luckily when we're there, we're not working, so I have time to eat at good spots. Like, oh no, we already know where we want to go for lunch and breakfast and all that.
Well, this place, I mean, trust me, this place was not. This was an elegant place. It was really cool. It was just silly name, Tacos and Noodles. So, and then one night we went with. So then the next night, Joe Hobart from Kicker was like, "Hey man, we're I'm taking you out to dinner." I was like, "Okay," because he's our contact there, and also a friend. And so we were going to Tao's Asian Cuisine in the Venetian.
Oh, that was probably a little fancy.
It was a lot fancy. Yeah. It was fantastic. Oh, fantastic! It was like Asian food 2 nights in a row. It was like, oh, this is the best. I got some weird chicken thing that like was way hot, and I was like, I was expecting it to be hot, but it was really good. They both got like little steaks that they were all like, it's like Fernando's over there licking the fork, so I'm guessing it was good. But so getting there was the fun part, right? Because it's like 6:15. We're supposed to be there at 6:15. And so we walked back. So we got back to the hotel. It was, it was like 5:30, 5:35. I said, all right, meet me down here in 10 minutes, which wasn't 10 minutes. It took him longer because, he was talking to his son. And I was like, oh, well, come on, man. We got to, it's not a 15-minute car ride. So we get an Uber, and we didn't realize traffic was shit.
Yeah.
Like, and this guy is one of those idiots that talks and drives, and it's like, just angry. And I'm like, what did we step into? This is fucking crazy. And so we're sitting in the car by the Sphere, and we're a mile from the place, and we're stuck in traffic, and it's telling us it's going to be 20 minutes to go a mile.
Yeah.
And I'm like, so I'm texting Joe going, hey man, we're stuck in traffic. It's ridiculous. And so finally we start moving. This motherfucker gets pulled over because he almost runs over a cop running a red light.
Oh my God.
I'm like,
what in the back?
Oh, dude, Fernando and I are just in the back of this car in disbelief. Like, I'm just looking at him like, this is why I don't like Ubers.
Listen, this is exactly what I was hoping for, because I know you're going to talk about all the SEMA, the official SEMA shit on your other shows, but I want to know about all this stuff.
Oh, my God.
This is the perfect show for all this stuff.
I mean, we're literally turning the corner, and there's a cop, and he's bitching like, this guy's bitching like, nobody. They used to do so good routing traffic, and now these cops suck, and they don't. And then we get into the one intersection where the cops are directing traffic, and he almost runs the guy over. Only in Vegas. Oh yeah, yeah. And literally, the guy is so pissed. The cop is so pissed, and he's like, just what the fuck are you doing? Give me your fucking driver's license. And the guy's like, what the hell? Get out of my way. He's like, give me your
cop.
Yeah, and we're sitting in the back of the car going,
like, can we get out? We'll just walk from here.
The guy goes, I'm gonna pull over to the street. He goes, pull the fuck over. I'm like, so then the cop walks up, and he's just so mad. Give me your license. And the guy's like, here. And the cop just walks away and goes, oh, I'm pulling you over because you ran the red. Like he just was pissed.
Yeah.
And then he came back and said, I'm pulling you over because you ran the red light. Because he didn't even tell him why. Like he was just like, I figured he's pulling him over because he almost ran him over.
No shit.
And I'm going, what the fuck? And so we're sitting in the back of the car. We're looking at us. We're looking at the time. We're already 10 minutes late. And we're at the Venetian. Like we're at the backside of the Venetian at the convention center. And I'm like, I'm doing this to Fernando, and he's like, and I said to the guys, hey man, we're just gonna get out and walk. And he goes, well, I mean, it's only gonna take this guy a couple minutes. We're almost there. So I said, okay. So I gave it another 30 seconds, and I go, no, man, listen, we're already late. We're gonna dip, man. And so we jumped out and just started walking. And I'm like, Jesus Christ. And so,
oh my God.
Oh yeah.
This is Vegas. This is a Vegas story.
Yeah. And so then if that's not enough of excitement, I wanted to go left towards and around this way. Yeah. The guy goes, yeah, just go down that way and make a right or he says go this way. I wanted to go this way. So we go this way because we're like, he knows what he's doing. I'm just guessing. Like, So we go this way. We get about 100 feet and there's cops everywhere, more cops. And I'm like, why is there so many cops? What's going on? And then we get up to the edge of the sidewalk and I go to cross and the cop's like, yeah, you can't cross. And I go, I'm looking at all these people standing here. I'm like, is he like, what are we doing? And then I see this cop walking in the middle of the road to stop traffic. And I see this bus come. Yeah. I go, okay, he's letting a bus out. Oh, fuck no. He's letting out like 20 buses.
God bless.
Dude, a train of buses. And I'm going, are you fucking kidding me? It got so bad. People were just walking between the buses and the cops going, I told you guys to wait. And the guy's like, fucking stop me. And I'm sitting there looking at Fernando going,
oh my God.
Do we chance it? I mean, we're going to be the ones that get arrested.
Mm-hmm.
But, and so now there's like 100 people behind me, just pissed. And like there's that one asshole bus that's like, because they want all the buses to come, and so there's that one bus that's like, oh, can we still go? And he's taking his sweet ass time, and you're just looking at him going, make that fucker wait. You too, Fro. And so we finally get across, and now there's 100 people trying to go in the same direction we are, which in Vegas the sidewalks are the same size, so it's just cattle mess of shit. And of course we're already late, and then we don't know where the fuck we're going, and we get around to the building and we're like, I don't know where the fuck this place is at. And we walk past the entrance and like trying to find a restaurant inside of a hotel in Vegas.
Oh, dude, just trying to find anything in a hotel because they're so massive. It is.
Yeah, it's insanity.
You could walk a mile inside of a hotel.
Mm-hmm. It's still not, and be gone the wrong way.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah.
It's so we're inside the Venetian, which we've been in before. And we're just following the signs. She's like, which way are we going? I said, well, it looks like it's this way. So like I got the phone open and I'm like, yeah. And then I see a sign that says Tao and says, it's got to be this way. He goes, why? Because it's the sign's right there. Oh, okay. So then we're going. He goes, are we still going the right direction? I was, so according to that sign, the arrow points that way. So, finally it just like reveals itself. I'm like, oh shit. And there's Joe. And we go inside.
How late were you guys at this point? How late were you?
We're like a half hour late. I mean,
yeah.
It's like
not as bad as it could have been, I guess.
No. And, it was like, okay. And so dinner was great. We go to leave and we're walking through the Venetian and we get to the Uber part. And I didn't know where we were going. And I said, Joe, oh, we're at the Uber part. I said, you gonna Uber home? And he's like, no, I'm just gonna walk. I figured you guys would want to Uber. And I was like, I ain't fucking Ubering in this shit. Our hotel's right up the street, man. It's like it's 20-minute walk, probably 45. Either way, I was like, we were just here the other night, like down the road a little bit. So I'm fuck that. And he goes, oh, okay. So then we turn around and we go through the hotel, and then it dawns on him. He goes, I don't think I got my credit card. So then we got to go all the way back to Tao.
Yeah.
And then we got to stand there for 15 minutes while the manager's like, I don't know.
You know exactly. Yeah, never seen it.
Yeah. And so he's like, okay. So then we start. So we're like, okay, great. He's like, all right, well, I'll cancel the card tonight. And so we start walking. We get out onto the strip, and we're headed towards the Cosmo because we know that's where we need to go and hang a left. And his phone rings. And it's the manager calling to say, hey, we found your credit card. And I'm like, at this point, I'm fucking tired.
They probably didn't even look at it. Probably a busboy found it at the table. They probably didn't even go look.
Yeah, it's like it was stupid.
Yeah.
So he's like, he calls his buddy Dan, who was also eating at the hotel, to see if he can go by and get it. And he's like, I'm still in a meeting. He's like, fuck. So he's like, okay, I'm gonna go back and get my credit card. You guys can, hugs and, so then we walk the rest of the fucking way home. And, we're like, all right, well, and it's still early. I mean, it's still only like 10 o'clock.
Yeah.
Maybe 11. It's maybe 11 o'clock. And I was like, all right, well, this is what sucks about SEMA in the hotels, because like, kicker stays at the Orleans. So all the kicker people are at Orleans. There's a couple other places that stay at the Orleans. Rockford always stays at the Virgin. There's people staying at Horseshoe, Circus. There's people everywhere.
Right.
And so it's like, I think we were probably the only people staying in the Virgin. So it's like, so you go in and like, you all right, let's hit the bar, and just go past it. And it's like, you don't see anybody. And you're like, okay, let's go to our room and good night, and that's it. And so we would get up every morning at 6. We'd meet every morning at 6:45 so we could get to the place by 7.
Yeah.
Because we have vendor badges, so we can get in at 7 o'clock. And so we would go and look at all the shit in the morning because it opens at 9. So we would have like an hour and a half, sometimes 2 hours, to just kind of like walk around and see all the shit. I think the only place we didn't make it was like the tool room.
Yeah.
Which it's kind of, you don't look at so many welders, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Welders and lifts and stupid shit like that. But it's, and then, so Tuesday and Wednesday were the busiest days. Like that's when, if you're a vendor, that's when you go to get shit done. Like, so all of the reps fly in on Tuesday and Wednesday. And so we had the truck, the red truck that was there. And that's all we did, is we ran the truck. So if I was in it, then Fernando's outside talking to the Spanish guys, because Rockford, Mexico comes, and he's over there. And they like to talk to him because he speaks Spanish. And so when they would bring in their demos, he would take the people in. And then when other guys would bring their demos, and I would go in. So I'll just back and forth, ping ponging all day long, demo. And that's all we did. I mean, we were so busy the first 2 days. It's like, you'd see people, and you'd be like, hey,
Hi.
and I was demoing the truck, and I see this guy walking by, and I was like, I fucking know that guy. Oh shit, that's the guy from Count's Customs. Donnie or Danny or Danny. Yeah. And I go, fuck, I like his TV show. And he sees me like going, and the guy, and he sees me looking at him, and he's like, hey man, he's waving to me like, I know who you are. And I'm like, hey, and he waves. I was like, I had that weird, fucking wave moment. Yeah. And I was like, why did I just do that? It was like, this is my fucking girl. I mean, it's the stupidest shit ever. But it was funny. I was like, oh, that's pretty cool. You know? Oh yeah, we had a time. We always have a time.
Yeah.
And so then Wednesday, everything kind of like flips on Wednesday. Because Wednesday, it's like everybody that's still there on Wednesday is usually like, Wednesday is the day to go and do the shit, the secondary shit.
Yeah.
You know, so that's when you start getting guys that are there for other reasons, that just want to come by the booth and see the truck, or they do car audio, but not really, or they build cars and they were thinking about getting, like they had Rockford, they weren't a kid, they just want to talk to somebody.
So
Who do they talk
not the
to?
main,
Yeah.
not business. It's
No.
more like, well, we're thinking about this.
Yeah. And so like the demo count goes drastically down. So that's like Wednesday or Thursday is the day that, you know, you can actually get shit done. Like you go, code is I'm going to the bathroom,
Yeah.
which is, yeah, I'm going to go to the bathroom. Like I have to pee, but
But
I'm
I'm
going to,
gonna take
like, if
some
I go to the bathroom over here, I can swing by and say hi to these guys. And if I go to the bathroom over here, I can swing by and say hi to those guys.
right.
And so, you know, your bathroom breaks are like 45 minutes long because you're trying to get other shit done.
Yeah.
You know, while you're doing that. And so then we would just take turns, like, and then he would go talk to the same people I just talked to, and, you know. And then Friday is consumer day. And it's so funny because like the focus of the trip was the new punch speakers. Like that was it. Like we did punch speakers, we shot the video that went up on the other day. And we did that one morning when there was nobody there. So we got there at 7 o'clock and we filmed that while it was still kind of quiet, before it started to get busy. Cause you know, it's like it opens at 9. So everyone's there at 8:45. So we got there at 7 so we could film for 20-30 minutes before everyone started getting in the way. But on Friday with the consumers coming in, I don't know what it is. And I also think it's just a lot of people that just show up because it's Friday.
Yeah.
You know, like they got badges and they're just kind of there because they're going to spend the weekend in Vegas. And so
Yeah.
they made it for Friday.
Is
The
that the
room,
last day? The
yeah,
Friday's last day? Okay.
yeah. And so the room just kind of dumbs down a little bit,
Yeah.
a lot of it. And like, if you were there on Tuesday and Wednesday, getting to where the punch speakers were, it was a crowd.
Right.
Like it was just a mob. Like there wasn't any point for more than 3 minutes where there wasn't just a crowd of people that you were just talking to, you know, and pointing stuff out. On Friday, the only thing anybody wanted to ask anything about was the T3 19-inch subwoofer.
Oh, yeah. Was
That was it.
Yeah, you just got the hobbyist and the people out there.
Yeah.
The other ones are probably like everyone else is like, "Oh, well, I know I'm gonna sell 100 of these a month, 100 of these little speakers a month, and maybe one
Yeah,
more."
these are just, and I mean, dude, literally everyone would come over and be like, "Oh my god, when'd you guys come out with this?" And it's like, I
Yeah.
don't know, 8 years ago.
Yeah.
Like it's like, and I was talking to John, the guy at Rockford that runs all this for them. And I said, so for Friday, we should rearrange these things. We should move these over here to the front, so when people walk by, they can just, because they don't really want to talk to us.
Yeah.
They just want to come and finger this woofer and ask us how heavy it is, and does it have a reconing kit,
Yeah.
and all these silly questions like that. I said, let's just put it out front, and then we won't have to, you know. And the booth now, everyone leaves, so there's only like there's like a quarter of the staff in the booth. So like we're just trying to watch everything so it just kind of doesn't disappear.
Yeah.
So Friday's very stressful, you know, because it's like, you know. And then the funny thing was, so like, you know, we have this truck in the booth that MTI built. This doctor owns it, really nice guy. As it turns out, I actually knew him, didn't realize it. And you know, it's like a $350,000-$400,000 truck.
Man.
You know, it's a conversion truck. It's I mean, it's like everything about it. It's like we know all the crap there. It's like, I don't care. Custom everything. Like everything on this truck is custom. Everything is custom. And you know, you just be standing there guarding the truck is basically what Fernando was doing most of the time. Like on Wednesday or Thursday, he's guarding the truck because these people would come by and they'd just be like, they'd open the truck.
Yeah.
And just like, I'm like, what? And Fernando would be like, hey, what the fuck are you doing?
Yeah.
Like the door's closed. You can't get into it. Like,
Uh-huh.
like, you know, oh, well, I just want to take, no, like, What in your world made you think you could just walk up and open the door and get inside, without asking? You're just like, what the fuck?
That's people nowadays.
Oh my god, dude! And I'm like, there was a ton of supercars there, so I was excited because one of the mornings we went and looked at all the supercars, and I took a bunch of pictures that I haven't looked at yet. And yeah, I would never just walk up to the car and be like,
No.
I'm gonna hop into this, $500,000 or $1 million supercar and just sit down, plop down in it, and be like, oh, look at the steering wheel. This is so much
It's
fun.
like they've never been to a car show before.
Yeah, it was unbelievable, man. And then it's like, even when we were doing demos, like, people are bag ladies, man. They're like trying to squeeze, and it's like, whoa, just leave your bags outside of the car. No one's gonna touch them. No one is gonna touch. I swear, no one will touch them. Your rep is standing right there. Just leave the bag. It's like, my God, dude. It's like etiquette. No one has it. It's just, and you're trying to smile while you're doing it.
Too many people, man. Too many people.
And then this is the best part. This is the best part. The fuck Pioneer, okay? For all you guys that are Pioneer fanboys, great. It's not the company you're a fanboy for. It's a shithead company right now that just, like, China. So they put a Pioneer radio in it, thinking this was a good idea. And it looked great in the dash. Don't get me wrong. It looked fantastic. Everyone's like, ooh, what kind of radio was it? And I'm looking at them going, it's Pioneer. It's right there. So these radios need to be updated quite a bit now. Like, when you buy a radio, the first thing you should do is look to see if there's an update for it. Okay? Because more than likely, it's probably got one.
Yeah.
This needed an update. Badly. Needed such an update. And so we're like, hey, where's the USB for the radio? We need to do an update because it keeps glitching hardcore. Oh, you won't be able to get to it. It's buried up in the dash. Why the fuck would you bury it up in the dash? Like,
Custom.
how hard? I mean, what the fuck?
It's custom. Yeah.
Oh, it's so custom. Yeah. And then they went to shit. So anyways, so we had an on-off switch. So what we figured out is that, and it would be like, you go to change track, the radio glitches out and stops playing music, and you're like, so there was a switch to turn it off. So when it would glitch and whatnot, you would reach up to turn it off, and that would be your segue to start talking about the speakers and educating people on them. Like, it's just part of the plan. It's just part of the show is we turn the radio off so we can have your undivided attention. We tell you some of these amazing features about these brand new Punch speakers that you just heard, I don't know, a minute of a song, and now we want to play the next one, but we can't because we have to. This is the interlude where we're going to explain to you what you just heard over there that is way more complicated than you needed to know. We're going to dumb it down for you. And so then you talk to them, and you turn it back on and reboot, and you play the next song. And then you'd be like, yay!
Yeah. Well, speaking of the speakers, the video I thought was really good. It was that you guys put out was like a kind of like a CNET first look, or maybe a Marquez Brownlee style first look. So it was a really good video with pretty informative in a short amount of time for what they're doing. And I do like what they're doing. I like the tweeters. I like that it's all the same throughout. I assume that this is Punch. I assume there's something coming after this, maybe or maybe not down the road. But
power. So all right. So obviously, they figured out that this was going to take more time than they had initially planned for.
Right.
Because when you're revamping a whole line that you haven't really addressed for 10 years,
dude, Punch, in my opinion, has been the kind of the mushy middle, because Prime was really good for a budget.
Yes.
And then Power's been their flagship forever. And then Punch were just kind of like, well, do I spend the extra money? Like, what do I gain at this
Right.
point?
Right.
So now they have a answer, at least in the speakers that I know.
Yes. So obviously it's going to be a full line, speakers, amps, and subs.
Yeah.
The what they figured out was, hey, we need to dial this back, because originally everything was just going to be dropped. It's like, here's everything, and it was like, why? I mean, you really haven't done anything in 10 years. What's the hurry?
Yeah.
You know, like there is no hurry to get this out. So let's slow it down. Let's not worry about the room.
Yeah.
And let's get this right. And that's been kind of the new motto, is all the P1, 2, 3s basically the same tweeter and the same mid-range design. Yeah. They wanted an okay, so we'll circle back around to that. So yes, in people on the video, Jason, as you know, the commenters are most of them are really positive. Like if you look at the comments, which I made the mistake of doing, most of the people that have comments, like the morning, were true fans, and they liked it. And then the douchebags, when they woke up and got out of bed and scratched their balls and were like, "Oh, I should comment something stupid."
Yeah.
It was like, you guys are idiots.
They just didn't like the speakers, or they didn't understand the negative ones.
Yeah. So yeah, it was one of those. Hold on, where did it go? My computer's doing things. Sorry.
Uh-oh.
So yeah. So anyways, we got the Punch speakers this trip.
Yeah.
Next will probably be the amplifiers. Then we'll get, the subwoofers.
Yeah.
But there again, they're like, they look at the subwoofers. They're gonna redo them. But what's the hurry? It's like, it'll happen when it happens. So their thought is, let's spend the time on the products that we're working on. And it's not that they're not working on the rest of it. Like, we talked about power speakers while we were there, and what the plan is right now. And I was like, oh, that makes sense. So, we'll get a power speaker, but that's down the road.
I think through the video, it seems pretty realized what they were doing, and it was thought out, and it's justified, in my opinion. Like, the line, everything they were thinking, I think, is pretty smart, not only for shops, but for just regular customers and enthusiasts that are doing DIY. I mean, it's pretty well thought out for everybody, because you can have these speakers that are all basically the same in what flavor you need them, and you can move them back and forth and kind of get
So the goal was, let's take this name, this P1, P2, P3 that we have, because it really only has to do with the subwoofers, right? It's never had anything to do with the speakers before. And so someone came up with the idea that hey, there's something there. It's like, we've never had this. Like, Rockford doesn't have a three-way at all, and and the line is currently so old that it wasn't in the thought process. So it's like, somebody said, hey, well, P1 coaxials, P2 components, and P3 three-way set. And I was like, I thought it was great. I was like, and then the second thought was, it's going to drive everybody crazy. They're not going to understand it. And it's basically what it is. And so, when they looked at the line, it was like, we want to be able to take a 6x9 mid bass and put it with a 3.5. So take a P1 3.5-inch coaxial and put it with the mid bass that comes in a P3. So, and we want to be able to take the convertible speaker, the P2s, and if we need to put a 2-inch mid range in there so it becomes a three-way set, we can do that. So they wanted to, like, when we were talking about sizes and grouping and all of this stuff, if you're a dealer and you buy into it, and you buy all of the speakers that are part of this, then there's no vehicle that you don't have an application to fill. Like anything that comes in, like all the way up to the 5 1/4, the brackets come off.
Yeah.
So you have a 2, a 3, a 4, and a 5 1/4 with no bracketry. They'll fit anybody, any vehicle that takes those sizes. You know, will that bracket fit? No, but like we all make brackets now. It's not like we can't make a fucking bracket. You
Right.
know, and if you can't make a bracket, well, okay, you know, sucks to be you. Figure it the fuck out.
Metro will make
So
you one,
what's
probably.
that?
Metro will make you one at some point,
Yeah,
probably.
yeah, exactly. So, you know, there again, it's one of those things where it's like you know, they have 2 of them because everyone always had the only thing that they don't have in this lineup, the only thing they don't have in this lineup that was like people were asking about was you guys don't have a shallow mount speaker? It was like, no, because what it takes to build a shallow mount speaker, you know, super shallow. We're talking like Morel shallow,
Oh, okay.
you know,
So
because it's not
I
like
run
these
the
speakers are.
shallows. They're all pretty shallow,
No,
even
no, they're all they want. You got to remember, there's a lot of builders there that want to put
yeah.
speakers in the kick panels, and they see the reduced carbon nanos. They're like, "You guys make something like that?" It's like
Yeah.
Morel makes something like that. You buy the Morel because they're the only ones. Um, and so when you that was it. That was the only thing. But and we were talking about that, and they're like, "Oh no, we have plans for one. That's going to be a power line though, because
Yeah.
there's no way for us to build that in this line. It doesn't work."
It's expensive to do
Yes.
anyways. So anytime you miniaturize or make something, look how much a Pico Moscone amp cost. You would think, oh, that's crazy. Look how small it is. And well, that's exactly why it costs more, because it's small.
Yeah.
And that's a lot of stuff to think about and
Right.
add into an amp. So
Right. Well, P is always Jason. P has always been the
that's for the
product
punch.
line since day one. Punch has been P.
Yeah.
So
I thought it
there.
I thought it was I thought the video was perfectly clear that all the speakers were the same
Well, yeah. Well, I
and
mean
then
and
with
that's what we were.
coaxial components, three-way.
Yes, and that's what I was trying to get out was like,
When it makes sense because
there's no more
P1.
good, better, best because punch speakers have never had good, better, best. It's just been
Right.
speakers.
Yeah.
You know, because it's the middle of the road. It's like it's the middle of the road. It's every speaker. It's not prime, which is
Right.
whatever prime
Yeah,
is.
yeah, Prime's just like the entry level stuff. It's
Right.
what is it? P1, there's 1 speaker.
Yeah, and that's what it was.
P2, there's 2
Two
drivers.
speakers. Yeah.
P3, there's 3 drivers.
Right.
So I actually I like it. I like that.
Yeah.
And I like that the tweeter, and I'm sure you'll probably get a chance to make more videos on it later.
Yeah. So the
But I like
tweeter.
the tweeter seems unique. It seems like it deserves a little bit more video.
One of the because one of the things I really didn't get deep into because I was like, I don't want to spend all the time on the tweeter. So the tweeter is it. Like there's no wiring on the tweeter.
Yeah, I like that. That's cool.
It's just a tweeter.
I
And
can
then
see
there's
it being a pain in some applications, but I think it's cool.
no, it's actually it's the mount for it is fantastic.
Oh
Like
yeah,
everything in the line from the back of the speakers to the grills to everything is just twist lock. Everything is twist lock.
yeah, it's cool.
So it's like everything is super. In the tweeter, they have the little tool that you saw in the video.
Yeah,
It clips on and just click. Like they were taking that tweeter on and off all day long, like all day. That tweeter was turned more times than a doorknob. I mean, but the nice thing is if you want to just take that tweeter and make it wired, you just pull the little end out and you click it onto it, and now you can put it wherever you want. Like it doesn't have to be in the cup. It can be surface mounted. It can be wherever you want to put it. It doesn't care.
That's cool.
And it's that big. So I mean, you know, we'll be able to put that tweeter in some really, you know, really like we don't have to build grills to put a tweeter in. We can build grills to put a tweeter in. So the coax is interesting, you know, adding the little piezo tweeter.
Yeah,
And it works because in the truck there was a 5 1/4 in the dash, P1 5 1/4 in the dash. And that's dude, that amazed everybody. Because like, oh man, it sounds so good. I'm like, it's the same speaker. It's not a cheaper speaker.
yeah.
It's just it's like fuck.
Uh,
Um And there again, some of the like what in the video I wanted to make clear that like these are all things that like we just have wanted in a speaker. Like convertible, like they had convertible speakers long time ago, back in the 90s. Rockford sold convertible speakers that came with 2 tweeters. So you could do a mid-range and 2 tweeters, you could do a coaxial and a tweeter, or you could do a 3-way, you know, where you have 2 tweeters in the middle of that. So it's like convertibles are not new. A lot of companies have those. Arc has them. The AS speakers I have are convertibles. So it's not new. It's just very convenient. Kicker makes a convertible. The R series or the R whatever, the RS speakers come as a convertible. So I think a lot of there again, it's a nice form function. The difference is you can get them in 2 ohm, you can get them in 4 ohm. So boom, there we go. So they tick that box. So, you know, from a dealer point of view, if you don't want to stock some of the P1 stuff, you can just stock P2s. They're a little bit more money, obviously,
Right.
but you only have to stock 1 SKU. Okay, so it's cool. JL has convertibles too. Yeah, exactly. It's not a new feature. It's just a feature. If you're trying to come back in to a market space that you've never left, but you want to make a splash, you have to give people everything that they've ever asked for. So having a convertible speaker makes 100, like you have to, because other manufacturers do it and it works.
Yeah.
You have to have crossovers that come apart. Okay, like or are hidden, because this is something that we've all had to deal with. And Rockford has been hiding their crossovers in the punch speakers since day one. It's literally their thing. Like the whole basket in the original punch speaker was designed the way it was so they could put the crossovers inside of it.
Yeah.
They found out the hard way that you needed to have an external tweeter crossover, because they had to come out with another different set of speakers that had external crossover in the punch line because of that. Because we're like, we can't use this because the tweeters and I can't run wires through the doors. So, and they're like, oh shit, we didn't think about it. So when this line came out, everything they've learned from the old speakers, they were like, yeah, we're gonna still hide the crossovers inside of them because hell, that was our thing.
Mm-hmm.
Why would we not do that? But we also know that we need to make it very easy to add this tweeter to the outside of it. So if it is mounted in the door, there's a plug on the back of the speaker that you plug the crossover into. So it's not speaker terminals, it's a physical plug, and then you can put the tweeter up high in the door. Or if it's going to go into, let's say, an A-pillar and a door panel, then you just move the 2 pieces wherever they need to be. And then, of course, anyone that's ever put in a punch or a power series speaker that has these giant passive crossovers and gone, fuck, you know,
Yeah.
Well, naturally, they're going to make theirs break apart. But they also did it in a way where it's like you can lock them all together and all of them plug into each other, so that it's like, here's the best, here's both worlds.
Yeah.
Go
Yeah,
forth and
if
be
you
merry.
need them all in one spot, you can put them all in one spot and mount them.
You know, and like the tweeter thing, I thought that was important because how many times the coaxial is the cheaper version? It doesn't have the tweeter. Like you have, like when you look at like a Focal Flax or a K2,
Yeah.
it's the same tweeter, and it's a $700 to $1,000 set of speakers. Hell, Sage even makes a set of those out of Utopias, you know, because he needed a Utopia coaxial. So he makes a coaxial out of Utopias because the tweeter has to match.
Yeah.
And so you're getting this, and that's not to say other people don't do it. Other people do that. But
And now Rockford does too.
Yes.
Yeah.
You know, and that's
something
it.
needed to happen. Yeah.
Right. And so it was one of those things that, like, when we were talking to them, which we've been talking to them for a while, that it was like, hey, are you guys going to do this? Yeah. Oh, are you going to do this? Yeah. Are you going to do that? Yeah. What about this? Yeah. What else are you going to do? We're going to do this, this. And you're like, oh, shit.
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool. So there again, these are all things that other people have done. They have done, but we're getting it all in one line. So they tried to give us everything that we would want, so they wouldn't be people bitching about, well, you know, if you only done this, you know, it's like, well, okay. No, dude, crossovers linked together exists. Like the Focal, the gray ones. slate fibers, the
Yeah.
folk out slate fibers. Infinity has done it before, so
That's your life
it's
out
not
of
new.
Infinity, yeah.
Yeah, it's and they're not claiming to be the first. They're just this was a cool idea that these people did,
And now we're doing it.
now we're doing it.
Yeah.
So, as from I looked at it as from I'm gonna have to put these speakers in, right? So that's all I care about. Sounding good. Well, that was the happy accident, right? Oh wow, you did all this and they sound good. Bonus.
Yeah,
Yeah, and they
damn.
gave us the sizes we wanted. Like we were adamant. We're like, dude, if you're gonna do a 3.5, it has to fit. Like we need to be able to put the fucking grill back on it. It's not a little kid with a boner that's like, and so fitment was a big issue. And I said in the video, they took in 100 of the most popular vehicles and 3D scanned the whole thing, so that they knew that these speakers going forward would fit. And there again, like the back, we all hate the back. Like that's the first thing we rip off. It's purely for marketing. It's eye candy. It's when you pull it out of the box and you show it to somebody, like, oh, the speaker looks better because it just doesn't have a magnet sitting there.
Right.
We know they're going to come off. So making it easily to come off. Like shit. Kicker has their truck boxes, right?
Mhm.
And they're all 2 ohm.
Yeah.
And all their amplifiers are 1 ohm. Okay, so no problem. We'll just swap out the woofers. You say that once,
Mhm.
and then you go, oh shit, you know how hard it is to take that magnet cover off of an L7T? You have to use a fucking crowbar. And I shit you not, literally, it's epoxied on there. Like you're fucking jamming a crowbar on that thing. We're only doing this once, guys.
Yeah.
It's one of the things we were talking to Kicker about, because I was like, dude, like what the fuck? Like, you know how hard it is to swap out your woofers? Like, oh, just take the thing off. It's epoxied on with like epoxy 2000. Like, Fernando's over there like trying to get the thing off, and he's like, I don't want to break it. I go and get my 4-foot fucking thing, jamming in the thing, crack. I'm like, that's how you get this bitch off. Fuck, and you're over there sweating and shit. You just got to work out from taking a magnet cover off. It's like,
damn.
God damn, guys, really?
Yeah.
So there again, it's one of those things where, like some idiot made a comment, there's nothing new to see here. Okay, actually there was, and that was the last thing I talked about, where I talk about the surround.
Yeah.
Because the surround is brand new. They're the only people using that surround. Okay, and
it almost looks like a high roll surround, but for a mid range.
Right.
Yeah.
But here's the catch. Last year when they came out with the T1 shallow mount subwoofer, the biggest complaint was the surround.
Yeah.
Well, there's only so many places you can buy a surround from in the 12-volt community, because there's only so many places that can make it, and everyone makes one. Everyone they got for the woofer always failed.
Yeah.
So it's like, this fucking sucks. So they went to a shoe manufacturer, because the shoe manufacturer, these guys work with plastics like it's fucking magic.
Yeah.
Okay, and they can build in stress points, thickness, everything. Like, shoes are in marvels, and the machines that make these things are incredible, and they just have technology that speaker manufacturer and stupid surround guys don't. Everyone makes the same fucking 1950s surround.
Yeah.
So with the T1, they figured out how to make a surround that nobody has ever made before. And so when they took that into the Punch series, they were like, well, we don't have to connect it like this. We can put it like this, which then stretches it out or stretches it out to the side and rolls it out further. So instead of having it sit like this, it sits like this.
Right.
But we can design it so that it's sitting the right direction and it's thicker and thinner where it needs to be in order for it to move properly. Right. And it's like, nobody does that. And then because the basket is made out of a composite, they can make the basket anything they need it to be in order to fit the surround. Yeah. And it's like, just like, we always talk about the amplifiers. They're 20 years old, but people still haven't figured out how they've done it.
Yeah.
Okay, well, they did it again. The most sophisticated thing on this speaker is the fucking surround.
If you look at a Rockford Fosgate box, you're going to see about 10 logos for one technology that they've done, and that's what they do. And then they'll be ahead of the curve for ever how long, and till the other people catch up.
Kicker does 2-ohm boxes because at the time when they designed the boxes, their amplifiers all only handled 2-ohm. That was the reason. It has nothing to do with anything nefarious or any other reason. That was it. That was they at the time when the boxes came out, they didn't have a 1-ohm 1-ohm amplifier. So, because you got to remember, there's a 2-year period in which they're designing stuff. So now we just need them to go back and fix it. And they might not. I don't know. That's somebody else's problem.
And speaking of them, they came out with some big subs. We know about these subs. I knew about them for a very long time, but it was just never of interest to me because I'm not the market for that sub. Like real bass heads, this is some real bass head shit right here.
I think two of the weirdest things that they came out with was the 12-inch amplified little under seat thing that won't fit underneath the seat. And that's the running joke because they sell hundreds of thousands of these things, and it's amazing how many of these they sell. So that piece was not made for this market. They're going to sell a ton of them, but that ain't for this crowd. And then they came out with a Jeep box, and I was just kind of looking at it going, I don't think you guys understood how to make a Jeep box. Because it sticks out a lot. And I was like,
does it really?
Oh yeah.
Oh man.
I'm like, is that a full size L7 in there? Like, no. I go, huh.
Oh. Well,
that's odd.
I was gonna say I might have to call Ernie and see, but if it sticks out far, I don't think that's gonna be good.
It's whatever. Kicker is coming out with a standalone DSP. Okay, so as I explained this before, it's a couple people, or I think it was you, Bobby. You upset because you just weren't. You were expecting more from them, and it's not that they don't have more to give, but Kicker always puts a release date on something that is an embargo on how they're going to talk about it. So when it comes to SEMA, if the product isn't going to ship in the first quarter, they're not going to talk about it.
Listen, they learned their lesson.
Yes,
the original L7.
Yeah. So it's coming. It's coming.
Yeah.
Don't worry. Trust me, Bobby. When it happens, I will let you know. As soon as I get my beta software, I will DM you and I will you have to swear on the Bible and shit. But yeah, it's coming. It's not that it's not coming. They're working on it now.
Hey, that and Boss promised to make amps that are rated correctly.
I have them. I have those. They're sitting right. They're 15 feet away from me right now, dude. Okay, here's the best part. So they came in. I got them. They sent me the one sheets on them. The fucking dyno numbers are on the one sheets.
There you go.
They've ordered. I was like, I don't even need to dyno these things. They've already fucking dynoed them and put it.
Listen,
dude, it's fucking great.
When you've lied so long, you gotta go up above and beyond. Like, hey, listen, we're not doing that anymore. We were just playing before, but now.
Well, no. So it's funny because I know what you're saying because I understand, and it's not anything nefarious by. It's not like it's planned to be nefarious like that.
It's marketing. I mean,
it's not even that. It's people selling stuff that don't understand what they're doing. 9 times out of 10. When a manufacturer does something stupid like that, and you're like, why did you do this? And they're like, doesn't everybody do that? And they're like, no. And they're like, well, I mean, I was selling golf balls last week. We all tell them that this will go the farthest distance.
I just find it hard to believe. They've been doing it so long.
But they never had anybody there.
Yeah.
That was so true story. The people running it now.
Actually, right?
Should Boss just change their name and start over? Yeah, well, that's what they're doing. That's why it's Elite.
Happening. Yeah.
Trust me, they're Modus, Elite. They're all just getting as far away. And there again, Boss has nothing to do with Modus. The guy that owns Boss has a shit ton of money.
Yeah.
And he's invested in Modus. That is the only correlation there. He's invested in the company and he has a pipeline. So that is fantastic. But there's people that work for both companies, just like there's people that work for JVC and people that work for Kenwood. It's JVC Kenwood because there's one guy signing the checks.
Right.
Okay. And so this is the first time anyone that has worked for that company that has a history in car audio. So you have Delgado and Digos working there now, and they literally took these guys into stores that they know and gave them a very controlled environment experience that they were not privy to. And they were just like, holy shit. Like, because that's not how they saw this stuff.
Yeah.
And so there was a huge come to Jesus moment in these companies where they were just like, wow,
Yeah.
we want to be in this space. We don't want to be over here. This is cool, but fuck that. Wow, this is possible. And so there's a little bit of reinvention going on there, because now there's people there that are like, guys, you don't need to be there, you know.
Yeah.
And it's like, well, shit, okay. I never thought I'd be considering bringing Boss into our shop. 100%.
Yeah.
You know, and there again, like I said, I've got all the amplifiers. They sent them to me. They're sitting 15 away. We've been so busy, I haven't brought them in. But
Well, see,
hey,
they've made bulletproof amps for a while because the market they sold to. It's just they're very Maxsonics about it up to this point. So I just have to see it for myself.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
For sure. And I agree. And trust me, I can't wait to get a radio and all these other fun things and just have fun with it.
They have done better radios. I will admit that. Like their radios have been a lot better.
We didn't even get to the whole radio thing with Metra coming out with their own radio.
Oh, I know. I meant to get that. Well, listen.
We'll save that for next.
Yeah, we'll follow up that one next week.
Well,
or the week after next.
After. Yeah.
Yeah, we're not going to see you guys next week. Is it Thanksgiving the week after that?
Might be 2 weeks.
Yeah, we're not going to see you guys for 2 weeks. Next 2 weeks, no show. You're going to have to enjoy life without us. I know it's going to be hard, but we'll be back after that.
Yeah.
And
guys, thanks.
Last chance in 2 weeks to see us. We're going to talk about a lot of nonsense and food and probably Thanksgiving food and all that. Click the link in the chat and follow us there if you want to hear more nonsense.
Yep.
If not, we'll see you in a couple weeks.
All right, kids.
Later.
Bye.